What's up, your boy Vaughn? Another reaction. In today's video, we have Endrick has a serious. I say Endrick. I mean Europe has a serious Endrick problem by Ped Talks Football, bro. If y'all hear something in the background, bro, this is a modded PlayStation 3. I'm trying to install a game on her. This bitch sound like a jumbo jet, my nigga. But that fucking fan sounds insane, my nigga. I'm installing some on there. That shit sound loud, bro. It is a PlayStation 3, bro. The console, like, but that console been around for like 20 plus years.
Life in France.
Endrick qui est passé, Endrick qui frappe. Le premier but d'Endrick en groupe.
They say to never fall in love with lone players, but Lyon fans can't stop loving Endrick after seeing him absolutely dominate everyone in Ligue 1.
Yeah, I always believed that Endrick got a hell of a strike. He got power in his shots. There's a lot of power in his shots. Real Madrid need to sign this nigga back up immediately. But nah, he should just go to another club. There's too many people at Real Madrid, but I don't know. Maybe he could be a super sub, you know what I'm saying?
Joined Lyon in January of 2026, and he's been unreal. He didn't need time to settle in, but he had like 3 man of the matches in his first 3 games.
But now it's looking like they're questioning if they've lost something special.
From the beginning, you could see how he was changing the way the team attacks.
What he's doing right now with Lyon is creating chances, getting responsibilities in the game. It should have been served and better served maybe from Real Madrid players.
Lyon had been inconsistent earlier in the season, but his arrival gave them a real boost going forward.
Claro, no banco ali, mas se eu fosse entrar, eu ia fazer de tudo para ajudar o Lyon.
Endrick announced himself right away on his debut against Lille in the Coupe de France. Coming into the game, there was a lot of hype around him, and he delivered. He scored the winning goal in a 2-1 win, finishing a cross from Afonso Moreira. Big expectations in his first game, and he stepped up. That goal gave him instant confidence and showed Lyon fans that he's ready for that level of football. Even after not playing much at Madrid, he looked sharp and fully prepared for the level in France. That set the tone for everything that came after. At Madrid, he just didn't get enough minutes to really build a rhythm. When he first arrived, there was huge hype around him.
A lot of excitement over the 18-year-old Brazilian international.
But they're investing in potential, and they seem to have gotten it right.
People were already talking about him as the next Brazilian great, following names like Ronaldo and Pele. He showed flashes of that early on, scoring some big goals. But after that, things slowed down. Under Xabi Alonso, his minutes dropped a lot, and he struggled to find a consistent role in the team. So the loan move made sense for everybody. Madrid needed him to develop more and get real game time, and Endrick wanted more playing time as the World Cup was approaching. At Lyon, he was starting regularly. His numbers improved a lot because he was actually playing a lot. He was in the lineup week in, week out. On top of finishing chances, he was also creating them. In Ligue 1, he was averaging a goal or assist roughly every 90 minutes, which for a player of his age joining a club mid-season was pretty solid. He was one of the better younger players in the league, constantly performing at a high level. And when you look deeper at his numbers, it shows that he was constantly getting into dangerous positions and helping create big chances. One of the most interesting things about Endrick at Lyon is how his role has changed. Before at Palmeiras and even early at Madrid, he was mostly seen as a central striker, somebody who stays up top and finishes the chances. But at Lyon, he's been used differently. A lot of times he's playing on the right as a right winger / inside forward. That change suited him really well. Instead of being stuck between the center backs, he could use his speed out wide, cut inside onto his stronger left foot, and attack the goal.
Yeah, he is a fast ass nigga, I ain't gonna lie.
From an angle. It just makes him so much harder to defend. He also had a lot of freedom in that role. He doesn't just stay on the wing, he often drifts inside into the half spaces between the midfield and the defense, where it's much harder for teams to pick him up. From there, he linked up nicely with players like Tolisso and Tyler Morton, playing quick passes and creating chances. You can't really play 1-2s at Real Madrid because if the ball goes to Vini or Mbappe, you're never getting it back. Another big benefit is that he avoids having to constantly battle with these big-ass center backs. Instead of wrestling defenders all game, he finds pockets of space and attacks from there. That being said, he can still play through the middle when needed. In certain games where Lyon wants a more direct threat, he actually moves back up front.
Ooh, god damn.
A great example of this was his hat-trick against Metz, where he showed he can still dominate as a central striker. In that 5-2 win,
Son, this PlayStation 3 fucking annoying. This shit kinda this shit's like a jumbo jet. Like this bitch about to take off and start flying games. Like god damn, this shit loud as hell in my fucking ear behind me.
Endrick scored a hat-trick and made history as the youngest player in the club to ever do it. It's actually pretty impressive considering the fact that Lyon has had so many great youngsters play for them over the
And niggas was really trying to bring up his height. Like, yeah, Winston's height mattered in football. Niggas talking about he's a 5'7" striker. And the fuck?
years. The first goal came early. He made a smart run and finished a cross from Tolisso with a quick flick at the near post. The second goal showed a different side of his game. He picked the ball up, drove into the box with power, and finished calmly through the keeper's legs. Then the third goal came late in the game. He won a penalty with quick footwork and stepped up to finish it himself. He had 6 shots on target in that game, which was the most any Lyon player had ever had in a single match since the 2006-2007 season. That tells you how dominant he was.
Joueur qu'il est, c'est exceptionnel. Magnifique. Magnifique. Bien aimé.
He has pace and power.
Lyon were missing some regular starters, so he had to lead the attack. And instead of shrinking like my uncle's ball sack, he stepped up and took control. So overall, this new role added another layer to his game. He was no longer a traditional number 9 trying to score goals. He was a much more versatile and well-rounded attacker. Another big moment came against Paris Saint-Germain. That was the game where Endrick really proved that he can perform even against the top-level teams in the Uber Eats. Lyon won 2-1.
Damn, this nigga got straight hair. Dang, Brazilians the only niggas that be black with straight hair. Like, what the fuck?
And Endrick was involved in both goals within the first 20 minutes. He scored the first one just 6 minutes in, making a quick run, getting onto the ball, and finishing it first time at the near post. Then not long after, in the 18th minute, he turned into a creator. He played a perfectly weighted through ball to Morera, who finished to make it 2-0. Tactically, the game suited him perfectly. Lyon sat deeper and let PSG push forward.
That's crazy. This nigga about to have a kid too, y'all. Y'all seen that? This nigga having a kid with his wife. They married, I'm pretty sure. The Brazilian niggas move fast in a bit.
Which left space behind their defense. And that's where Endrick is at his best. He kept making runs in behind, using his speed to stretch the game. And the baguette lovers PSG just couldn't deal with him. All game, this guy was a problem. His movement and pace caused constant issues, and he ended up with one of the highest ratings on the pitch. He showed that he can step up against the best and still be the point of difference. Now you might be asking yourself, if this kid is really this good, why did Real Madrid ever loan him out? Well, at first things were going in the right direction.
The nigga don't get no playing time. Nigga don't get no PT.
Under Carlo Ancelotti during the 2024-2025
Nigga getting a whole bunch of DNPs, did not play.
season, he played 37 games and scored 7 goals, which is pretty solid for a young player who was still trying to break into a team like Real Madrid. Keep in mind, the dictator Mbappe had also just arrived, so Endrick naturally got...
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, y'all think it's Mbappe, bro? I don't know, bro. Like, it might just be they call this nigga the dictator game. Like,
less chances.
if PSG, if we go back to back, bro, and Real Madrid go back to back trophyless, that'll be insane. Like,
But when
this ain't a good looking Mbappe. Like,
Carlo played him in the Copa del Rey, he did very well. It was his goals that helped Madrid reach the final. Yet Eyebrow Man decided not to trust him in that final, giving him only 9 minutes. His Copa del Rey run was easily the high point of his Real Madrid career at that time. By spring of 2025, Madrid fans were basically begging Ancelotti to play him more in La Liga, because every time he touched the ball, something positive happened. But everything changed when Alonso took over. Alonso's system demanded more structure, especially from the attacker. He wanted players who could press aggressively, stay disciplined in their positioning, and contribute defensively. I guess he felt that Endrick...
I kind of feel like Real Madrid moved on from Alonso too fast. Cause who's going to be our next manager? Like who? They saying Diddler Deschamps. Like
wasn't
I guess. And if he don't work out, who y'all gonna get next?
fully there yet in those areas, and that started to hurt his chances.
No coach writes you off just like that unless you're not showing him what you need to show him. No coach goes against their own best interest.
On top of that, there was just more competition. Gonzalo Garcia, for example, started getting picked ahead of him because Alonso liked him better for his system. He also made it very clear early on that minutes would be hard to come by for Endrick.
Ahora queremos competir, es difícil.
Then injuries made things worse. He picked up a hamstring injury early in the 2025-2026 season, and when he came back, he had a setback that kept him out even longer. In total, he missed around 4 months, including the Club World Cup. By the time he was fully fit again, he was just way too behind in the rotations. At that point, staying didn't make sense anymore. He went from the super hyped Brazilian prospect to being the third choice striker. The big factor, of course, was the 2026 World Cup. Endrick knew that if he kept sitting on the bench, he risked missing out on the Brazil squad, and with Ancelotti now managing Brazil and keeping a close eye on him, he couldn't afford that. So he needed a move to go somewhere where he could actually play. Lyon offered exactly that, a starting role, consistent minutes, and a chance to prove himself in a top European league. The loan deal between Real Madrid and Lyon was actually really smart. It was built to make sure Endrick plays as much as possible while also helping Lyon financially. Madrid made the goal very...
I think Endrick and Estavio, I feel like they the future of Brazil. They just need some more young niggas. They need more right backs. They need a better midfield. Like, they ain't Casemiro gonna be their starting midfielder. Let me see. Nigga, Casemiro is like 34, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Casemiro, like, gang. They need, I don't know none of these. Danilo, I know what it is. Ederson, Marquinhos, yeah. But these niggas is older though. Like, they need more younger forwards. I mean, younger defenders and midfielders.
Very clear from the start. Endrick needed minutes. So instead of a normal loan fee, they added performance-based incentives. Lyon paid an initial 1 million euros, but that number goes down depending on how much Endrick plays. For every 5 games he starts, the fee drops by 200,000 euros. If he reaches 25 starts, Lyon pays nothing at all. Basically, the more he plays, the less Lyon pays. It's a win-win. Lyon saves money and Madrid get exactly what they wanted, which was development through game time. On top of that, both clubs split the wages 50-50. Just don't let the feminists hear about that. So Lyon get a top-level talent without paying anywhere near his full value. Off the pitch, things have been very interesting too. One moment that got a lot of attention was against PSG. After scoring, Endrick celebrated with a dance right in front of the PSG fans. Well, let's just say it didn't go down too well. Hakimi confronted him during the game and later called the celebration disrespectful. I mean, Hakimi is just such a...
Yeah, Hakimi, shut up, my nigga. Like, for real.
sore loser. Imagine if somebody else got mad...
Gang, didn't you, like, score a pin and you did, like, the penguin celebration during the World Cup? Like...
at him after he did his stupid penguin dance after scoring a goal. Endrick didn't back down. He said he was just focused on winning and didn't feel the need to apologize for celebrating. Another small but interesting detail about Endrick is his nickname. At Madrid he was called Bobby, a reference to Bobby Charlton. The funny part is how that started.
Tu top 5 futbolistas favoritos. Bobby, Charlton.
What?
Reportedly, he got interested in Bobby Charlton after using his card on EA Sports FC. That's a classic, by the way, getting your footballing knowledge from a video game. Back when it was still called FIFA, I remember playing it so much that I knew all the country's flags just because of how obsessed I was with Ultimate Team. The nickname followed him to Lyon.
Gang, I was never no Ultimate Team player. You got, see, y'all niggas gambling addicts. See, they got y'all early with the gambling addiction. That shit a gambling addiction.
But it's not used
That
as
shit is literally an addiction, literally them packs.
Some people have tried to give him new ones like the
I ain't never was no ultimate team nigga. I was a what they call it, fucking my league, career mode. That's what they call it on FIFA, career mode. I was them niggas.
new Pele, but he seems more comfortable sticking with Bobby. In terms of adapting to life in France, everything has looked positive. Endrick has said that Lyon feels like the right place for him and that he feels at home there. He's even talked about enjoying the food and the culture in the city. And the impact hasn't just been on the pitch. His arrival boosted Lyon's social media numbers and brought more attention from Brazil. The club has clearly benefited from having him, both in football and commercially. Now, even though Endrick has been playing very well overall, things haven't been perfect. There was a short period in late February where things got a bit tense, especially with his coach Paulo Fonseca. Lyon went through a rough run of games and Fonseca wasn't happy with Endrick's effort off the ball. He openly said that he expected more from him, especially as one of the key players in the team. At one point, Endrick was even dropped from the starting 11, so
You gotta press. When coaches want you to press.
that Fonseca could send a message. But to be fair, it worked. Endrick responded the right way. Unlike his fellow Brazilian teammate Vini, he didn't cry. He just improved his work rate, started contributing more defensively, and then delivered a
Yeah, like I just saw a clip of Dembele talking about that shit with Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique, he don't play that shit. Y'all ever seen that clip of him talking to Mbappe? He wants you to press. He wants you. He don't care if you attack or nigga. Play defense too. Press the ball.
big game performance against Paris Saint-Germain. There are parts of his game that still need work though. At times his decision making isn't perfect. There are moments where he tries to do too much on his own instead of playing the simple pass. His aggressive style can also get him into trouble. He presses hard and plays with intensity, which is good, but sometimes it goes too far.
Yeah, cause he is kind of a big dude.
Like when he got a red card against Nantes. But none of this is unusual. He's still a very young player. These are normal growing pains. If
Yeah.
anything, the way he's responded to criticism is a positive sign for his development. Looking at everything overall though, the loan to Olympique Lyon was positive for everybody involved. For Real Madrid, they basically reset Endrick. He went from a player struggling for minutes to someone playing with confidence again and proving he can handle top level football. For Lyon, they had a top talent who made a real difference. His
Well, look at them strikes.
goals and overall play helped push them back into the race for Champions League. And for Endrick himself, this is exactly what he needed. Playing regularly, producing goals and assists, and looking like
Oh my, I ain't know this nigga could pass like that. What the fuck?
himself again.
Et je pense que s'il continue comme ça, il va aller. Il n'était pas sur les dernières listes, mais il va aller à la Coupe du Monde.
Now the focus
He already in the World Cup, right? Endrick is in the World Cup, right? I just look up the Brazil squad. Let me see. Bro. Yeah, Endrick in there. Yeah. What was Brazil last game? What they played? Their last game was March 31st. Brazil versus Croatia, a friendly. Goddamn World Cup, bro. June 13th. Oh, their first game is against Morocco. Oh, that's gonna be a good game.
shifts to what happens next. The expectation is that he'll return to Madrid for the 2026-2027 season, and he'll return as a much better and more complete player. He's now more versatile. At Lyon, he showed that he can play on the right wing, not just as a striker, which on paper should be huge for Real Madrid, especially since they don't have a natural right winger. He also gained something that you really can't teach, and that's experience. At Lyon, he was one of the main players, dealing with all the pressure, the expectations, and even the criticism. That should help him a lot when he goes back to the Bernabeu, because those guys love booing their own players. Then, there's the Holy Grail, the World Cup. With the tournament coming up, Endrick has put himself right in the picture for Brazil. His form at Lyon showed that he's ready for that level. Now, to see how big of a job Carlo Ancelotti has on his hands to make
Them jerseys nice. I need that jersey. That blue.
show
Those nice too.
that he's ready for that level. Now, to see
Those
how big
nice.
of a job Carlo
Those nice too.
Ancelotti has on his hands to make his final team selection for Brazil, you have to watch this video right here.
Make sure like, comment, subscribe, and all I do to this.